Hello, Star Lovelies. It's a great time to be a soul. Today we're talking about there are beautiful ways to use astrology with business. And so many people come to me and ask me, but wait, how do you do it, right? And so if you're curious about astrology and if you've been following people and you wondering how to use it deeper, you're in the right place. Now, I will tell you, this podcast episode is going to start to sound like, well, wait a minute, this is just a sales positioning, and it's not. I'm laying this all out for you so you can make decisions on whether you want to use astrology and follow the stars for navigation, or you want to start using the star power itself and use it based on your own energetic signature to align so that you can attract the right people and really start building some support. Or if you want to go even deeper and start using the stars plus your signature with strategy and really clear the pathway to your success. So I have developed my offerings to help you at any level of support that you're looking at. So I range from this free podcast and do things on social media and write lots of articles. I give lots of interviews on other people's podcasts, all the way to working with people one-on-one. So again, it is going to sound a little bit like, wait a minute, she's just positioning herself. It's not. It's to help clarify that there is so much more power in the stars than most people realize. And so I'm taking this opportunity to just lay it out for you. And so you can use the stars or astrology plus your business, and you can create brilliance and scalability and prosperity. Because think about it. There are so many more businesses coming online and admitting that they use astrology. Amazon is one, Goldman Sachs and Coca-Cola are others. But there are celebrities that use astrology as well, like Beyonce and J-Lo, Angelina Jolie, Madonna, Lady Gaga, and they use astrology to grow their celebrity. And if you think about it, these celebrities have staying power. They seem to know what the trends are. They seem to be able to stay ahead of them. And it's astrology that gives them that insight. In fact, 2019, going back to the business acumen, Fast Company is reporting that astrology has infiltrated the workplace. So you're here listening to this podcast, you must have at least some curiosity about astrology. And it can be used in your business to give you clarity. It can give you support. It can actually give you powerful forces so they can put you on the leading edge so you don't feel like you're running behind all the time and trying to capture and juggle all the balls that you have in the air. With this astrology, using it strategically, you gain an entire network at your disposal that when you recognize what's happening in the stars and you learn how to use these powerful forces and integrate them with methods that align with you and your team and your business, you can actually ensure that you're going in the right direction. You can be attracting the right people and you can be relying on the right resources. So think about how brilliant that is and how scalable it can be and how prosperous earning potential you can have. So I'm going to lay out, there's 10 ways, and I'm going to chunk them out in three different categories. One of them is the most common. It's where you use the stars to lay out that direction and give you the clarity for timing and navigation. The second part is for scalability. That's where you start to use them energetically and you really step into their power so that you can connect with the right people, so you're attracting the right support and you're seeking the right opportunities. The third way is for prosperity. That's when you're actually using the stars to remove blocks. You're working with them integrally, with your business and with yourself, maybe even with your team, and you are literally clearing the pathway for becoming much more profitable and much more apt for higher end revenues. So these first three ways are for brilliance and ensuring you're going in the right direction. So the first one in this category for brilliance is you can discover the trends in your industry, economically and financially, before your peers. And what does that do? That helps keep you, it gives you space. It helps keep you on the leading edge. So you don't feel like you're running and trying to catch up. You are actually able to be in lockstep with what's going on. So for example, knowing that 2025 is fiery and 2026 is filled with opportunity and 2027 is about getting practical to form the structures to create success. And 2028 involves a pioneering spirit to live your soul mission. Just even this alone can help you carve out your strategic direction in ways that will be helpful to align with the powerful forces. So it'll feel like you're riding a wave and not fighting against the tide. The next way for brilliance and going in the right directions is to set your strategy based on the planetary themes and intentions so that you can crystallize your vision and develop a brilliant approach for your success. So my clients set their strategy, they create milestones, and they put their business pillars in place based on the themes, intentions, and timing every single year. When they found out 2024 was super edgy and the key was to fill their core, they set up support systems and they got their team members to expand their abilities to handle things. When they found out that the intentions were all about collaboration and connection, they set out to seek those networking groups that were aligned truly with their own energetic signature so that they could be in the right place. When you do things based on this level of information, you are able to set and make decisions and stick to them in ways that, quite frankly, with all of the shifts and the disruption in the marketplace, it's really hard to do, no matter how discerning or intuitive you are. The next way to make sure you're going in the right direction is to realize the timing of big star events so that you do make those great, solid decisions and you don't have to second guess whether you're on the right path. So, for example, there was a big, huge movement in 2023 and 2024 that involved Pluto, who's a 20-year star. Pluto was changing out of the sign of Capricorn and moving into Aquarius. And honestly, you can say, yeah, so what? Okay, it's the difference between knowing that doing things from an inclusive perspective, doing things and knowing innovations are going to happen at the speed of light, and understanding and appreciating that there's a triangle of support in the stars that are being set up from 2024 to 2028 that's going to support your ability to be either a disruptor or a visionary leader or an awakener, and knowing which one you are and knowing your best timing, key for making those beautiful strategic decisions. In fact, if you want a little bit more insight, I have a beautiful article that I'm going to put in the show notes for you that goes through, and it goes by your zodiac sign. As a matter of fact, because I boiled this down at such a level that you can get the information that you need. All of those ways were for about making sure that you are in the right direction and making the decisions and solidifying your consistency with them. The next section is about scalability and making sure you're attracting the right people. So the top way to do this is you can learn who to work with and how to work with them to create your most profitable team and give you the freedom so you can take time off. You can have a better work-life balance. And so many people come to me looking for that. And you can do this, again, using the stars is one thing, but using them, aligning with your own energy, and then setting strategic steps and using tools is the difference between success and failure. As people always say to me when I have them take my 12-question quiz at yourstarmaptosuccess.com, and they find out their intuitive success signature, because it lets them know whether they are entering the world through their mind or through connection or through action. And when they know, they understand and appreciate who to attract in their world and how to work with them. I have had so many clients that have every team member take the quiz. They have some of their clients take the quiz. They have some people in their audience take the quiz. And when they do, they have such a greater understanding on knowing who they need as part of their, to fill out their support team, or knowing who to work with by looking at their client portfolio and recognizing where they have more space to be able to handle more work and where they're up and filled with capacity. So, for example, when you hire a ruling warrior, you must leave them to their own devices, or else they'll quit as fast as you can get them on board. And this is a huge loss because they're fabulous producers, especially in the sales area. Now, imagine knowing that about one of your new hires or about someone on your team you're shifting into a new position. Again, my clients always say to me, this is the difference between success and failure. There's another way you can align your energy with the power of the sun and the cycle of the moon to boost your energy reserves and manifest your desires. Now imagine that the sun moves every 30 days into a different zodiac sign. You have accepted and said you have a particular sun signature that you want to navigate with your entire life. Imagine knowing how your sun signature interacts with a signature in the sky, and knowing when it's great for marketing for you and how to market, and when it's great for communicating and how to communicate, and what your leadership style is, and what leadership style is really affected during certain times. So this is where you can know when to set retreats, and when to work with your team, when to set up like VIP days with your clients. I mean, it's such amazing information. Then think about the cycle of the moon. You've probably heard, great, we can manifest during the new moon, and we can celebrate success, and we can start releasing to create space and remove blocks during that full moon to new moon cycle. Wonderful. But understanding it at a deep level and understanding how to use it for visibility, use it for, coming up with great launch sequences, for the best offers for your business, the type of pricing matrix you should have. Like literally, this information can set up your entire business model. So I do have a beautiful stepping stone program that you can read more about. I'll put that in the show notes. If you're interested, we have luscious introductory level that you can use if you're working with another coach or working in another group. It was set up intentionally for that. You might want to step up into that program because we go from, again, that introductory level to a beautiful hybrid. There's monthly one-on-ones with me, and you also get the program. So lots more information on that. But I just want you to know that there is support out there that you can use as you're understanding and appreciating your own energetic signature, what your soul has selected when you came to do your beautiful life purpose work, and how to not exhaust yourself and not be in the stressful, disruptive vein that we have experienced, especially intensely these last few years. And I will tell you, by the time we get to the second half of 2025, things are going to move up so incredibly quickly that it's almost going to be as if you can't catch your breath, which is honestly one of the reasons why I'm recording this podcast when I am, to make this information available. What's the next way you can use the Stars Plus strategy so you can scale your business so that you have this growth that allows you to be clear of obstacles? So when you realize how the stars combine with your own free will, that's when you actually clear the pathway. So think about it. The stars are out there. They define fate. But free will is a choice we make every single day. With every decision we make, with every reaction or response we have, we are either aligning ourselves with our soul mission and our life purpose, or we're misaligning ourselves. And so we get to choose if we want to respond with calm or we react through stress. And it's this combination of the stars and free will that determines our destiny. So knowing what's happening in the stars gives you more time and certainty to respond and instead of react. Now, this next set of ways of using astrology for business is really all about prosperity and relying on the right resources. So the first way to do this is to calculate the best time for launching and promotion. And this saves you time, it saves you money, it frees up resources. Imagine being able to set up your launch schedule, your promotions, your hiring practices, and even optimizing timeframes with authority. There's no second guessing. You can also set your vacation plans too, because I talked about this being able to free yourself up. You're not going to lose yourself. You're not going to be in that exhausted, stress spiral. As a matter of fact, I have one client, she's been with me a handful of years, and she's a stylist in California, and I adore her. And she's a ruling warrior, as a matter of fact. And one of her first questions to me every year is, yeah. We're going to do all the business things. I know it, but when can I take vacation? And I adore that. And the reason why she does this is because she knows that when she has the great promotional schedule and she looks at it the way it's laid out during the year, then she can plan her vacations around it. And in fact, she knows, because one year she didn't listen to me and she says, I will never, ever, ever do that again. Because not only did she lose out on sales and really good business times, but she also had a really not great time on that vacation, maybe because of that, but it wasn't a great time to take vacation. So her words, not mine. The next way is you can avoid the pitfalls of technological snafus, misunderstanding with communication, and travel delays. And that eliminates wasted effort and does add to your bottom line. You may have heard Mercury retrograde, right? If you've been astrologically curious, you've been following some things, you probably know you can look at any app at this point and say, when is Mercury retrograde? And knowing when is the first step. And that is a good step. And with my clients, what I say to them is, as we're laying out this calendar and we're looking at, this is one level of it, there are other levels. And sometimes a client does need to do a promotional or sales activity or host a retreat or conference, and it does land in the middle of a Mercury retrograde. And that wouldn't be the first advice, but there are other ways that you can navigate around it. The quickest one is to have a really long lead in and a really long tail for follow-up. You can take that tip to the bank. But knowing and recognizing that there's a theme of elemental energy every single year for Mercury. So one year will be fire, another year will be water, another year will be earth. And knowing those, in addition to the timing, will give you the indication as to whether your energetic signature and or your sun sign will be more greatly affected. Because if it is in the earth sign for a Mercury retrograde, and again, every year has a theme of an element, then Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn will be more greatly affected. If it's a water sign, then Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces will be more adversely affected. If it's a fire sign, then it's going to be Aries and Leo and Sagittarius and so on. So understanding and appreciating that next level is key, because when you can avoid those times, especially if you're most adversely affected, you're going to save so much time and you're going to save so much money by not wasting effort. And you won't be thinking, well, it's my messaging or it's my offering itself or it's my pricing. No, sometimes it's the timing that affects you more greatly than it affects others. The last way I have for astrology plus business around prosperity is being able to attract your soulmate clients, to be able to build your ideal client roster and to gain fulfillment and increase your top and bottom lines. That sounds like a lot, and it is a lot. Knowing where Venus is and how to use her is like having a marketing strategist on your team. She can help you so much with attracting your soulmate prospects. And then Mars gives you the courage and energy to take action. He's like having a salesman on your team. So imagining having more marketing support and more sales support just by knowing where those planets are and how they're being affected and aspected through the months and the quarters. Amazing. And so knowing how to use them is unbelievably helpful. And I've had so many clients say, I was on a sales call, but you know what? I knew it was the best timing to do this, this, and this. Or guess what? I aligned my marketing message with where Venus was, and so many more people are responding and responding in ways that I've not seen before. Absolutely. Now, there is another way. This is the pro tip, if you will. This is the 10th way, as I've promised. You can actually understand your money input to get rid of lack and increase your prosperity. This is where using the stars plus your signature plus strategy helps you with prosperity. I have done this for hundreds of people, actually probably for thousands of people at this point, if I do take into account all the free program I've done around this, but definitely with my hundreds of clients. Because when you know your success signature, it gives you details about your money signature. And when you know those details, you know what your superpower is, and you know what's preventing you or blocking you. And I'll just go through the superpowers right now. The wise strategist loves to manage money, while the intuitive visionary adores attracting it. The ruling warrior makes money beautifully, and the collaborative explorer keeps it zealously. The creative superstar is actually excellent at giving money, and so can generate that beautiful reciprocity. And loving alchemist is a powerful wealth creator. So each one of these signatures has a superpower, but there's also a huge block. And knowing yours helps you overcome it. And so I have done a beautiful remove blocks to your money workshop that is part of my event bundle every single year. And I did it for free. I didn't know I was going to do it. And I didn't really invoke a lot of launch and promotion for it. It was kind of a last minute thing. So I had 40 beautiful people. And because it was such a small group, I was able to do activations and I was able to do much more. We traveled and we went through ancestral lines. We removed blocks for limiting beliefs, and we did so much work. And so what a beautiful, bountiful workshop that I now include as a bonus, because they created $290,000 in the first week. And so now when I use it, the feedback I get is just tremendous. So that's part and parcel of any single one of my offerings. So there are 10 ways that I've laid out, 3 of them for brilliance to make sure you're going on the right direction. And if that's where you are and you're like, yeah, I'd really love to do that, subscribe to this podcast, because I am doing weekly forecasts and monthly forecasts and beautiful full and new moon rituals every single month that you can tuck yourself into and say, you know what? I now know the timing. I really want to do this for navigation, and this is beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and subscribe. That's great. If you're looking and you're saying, you know what, that's great, but I want more. I want to be able to understand how to attract the right people, because guess what? Leadership and managing and delegating and my team, and it's kind of not the most awesome scenario that I could have going on. So it is going to require me to know how to use my energetic signature more fully and to be able to understand and appreciate the big star events in a way that it can boost my confidence and can really tuck me in for the whole year. Then I have that beautiful 5 event bundle that I launch every year that you can go into. And that works perfectly to secure yourself into this type of work and being able to use these type of tools. But you may have another coach that you're working with. You may be in another group or 2. And so this doesn't interfere with that at all, because it gives you these big, huge moments so that you know how to set your success map for the year. You know how to use your power in leadership ways. You know how to remove money blocks. You know how to set up your prosperity. And then you get the forecast for the year. So that's a bundle that is near and dear to my heart. And it's one, again, like I've said, I've done these support offerings because I want to introduce people into the power of this, and a little goes a long way. But if you're like, you know what, I want to do all that and more. I want the prosperity. I want to make sure I'm utilizing the right resources. I am sick of spending money and it not materializing, and I don't get the results that are just meant for me or in the way that I want it. Then check out that Rich and Powerful Leadership Program, because it's a beautiful academy. Like I said, there's 3 tiers for you, and it's hybrid. So you can dip your toe in and do a monthly workshop and get a monthly power hour. And that's a Q&A. And you can say, you know what, this is perfect. It fits along with the other things I'm doing. I want to make change, but I have other things that are in place, and that's perfect. Then you can say, you know what, I want a little bit more support than that. I'd like to really get some more one-on-ones with Kim, some half-day VIP days in small group. I'd love to be able to do that 2-day strategic intensive workshop. Then there's the gold level. There's that next tier. And if you're like, guess what, that all sounds great, but I really want monthly one-on-ones with Kim. I want to be able to I hear these things about Magic Seat, which is small group healing. I want 2 half-day VIPs. I really want more. Then there's a diamond level. And honestly, I did this program and made up these offerings to help you run your business, have a life, and be true to you, and make sure that you're going in the right direction, you're attracting the right people, and you're relying on the right resources, because it is your birthright not only to be rich and powerful, but to make big impact and to be able to leave your legacy. And so if Goldman Sachs and Amazon and Coca-Cola and all those celebrities are using astrology, then there would be a really good reason for you to say, you know what, I'm going to roll up my sleeves and dive in. Thank you for listening, and stay tuned for more ways to use the stars strategically to align with your soul purpose, reclaim your power, and increase your prosperity. Please rate and review your favorite episodes, and remember to check out my website at kimwoods.com for my latest forecasts, articles, and offerings. To find out your intuitive success signature, take my 12-question Do You Know, Like, and Trust Yourself quiz and find out how you're living your stars at yourstarmaptosuccess.com. I've so enjoyed our time together as it's filled with the power of the stars plus strategy to clear the pathway to your success. Until next time, happy soul tidings.